evening. Here comes the... It's out. And of course, these athletes have been waiting a long time to square off. Here we go. Oh, he just absorbed a big left hand. Nice counter. Beautiful counter shot. Look at the footwork, the hand speed. This is the best that the middleweight division has to offer. Your footwork has to be on point when you're fighting a swarmer. If it's not, you're going to get caught in the corner and beaten up.
You got a swarmer on your case. You know you got to fight. You got to hold him. You got to tie him up. You got to lean on him when you come in until the referee makes you break up. But keep your hands high because I will keep punching until that referee said stop.
How about that time counter shot? Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Nice counter shot. They exchange punches. That big hook doesn't land. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They blocked that right hook. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Good defense on that left hook. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. LaMotta in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the... And there's the bell for round two. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Done with that counter shot. If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
Hard, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think light. Concentrate.
Good defense on the right uppercut. Been a very competitive round between these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
They both want the knockout. Good defense there to stop that hook. This is some of the best action I've seen in any round, anywhere this year. A perfect counter shot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. LaMotta in that last round. He is down big time on the scores.
It's been in fight.
Let's get it started in round three. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
jabs. Beautiful counter punch. Punch, counter punch. Do you believe this? What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Middleweights always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, Mr. I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
Both fighters landing in these exchanges, judges going to have a tough job.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
That counter shot lands. That punch is beginning to take its toll. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about LaMotta in that lap. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Catch and shoot. Tried to score with the uppercut. Got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses. How do you deal with it?
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. He threw a punch and just got countered. Blocks the uppercut. Throwing the hook, but it doesn't score. Having a hard time finding a home with that right uppercut. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. About LaMotta in that last round. Well, he is glad to have... Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
This fighter's certainly not going to outthrow their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight, it's the size of whoever is man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at a middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history book.
I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
A perfect counter lands. Defense is situation for these two. And he scores with the counter. That counter punch. The Raging Bull is dazed. Raging Bull in real trouble. Let's talk about LaMotta in that last round. The game plan does not seem... This is the beginning of round 6. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Nice slip to avoid the jabs. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Ooh, the Raging Bull just got clipped. This fight still continuing.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at...
Well, hold on a second, Johnny. Oh my, Jake LaMotta just got buckled. How are they still standing?
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
There's a counter shot. Ooh, the Raging Bull just got clipped. Let's talk about LaMotta in that last round. And around it. Here comes round 7. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. The Raging Bull is dazed. And the Raging Bull goes down. And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove. And down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They're on their feet, but is this the beginning of the end?
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
We're at the halfway point. There's no doubt who's won this round so far.
No doubt at all. You can see who's winning.
Look at the swelling and the bruising. They're going to take a look, and they may stop this fight. And the referee will allow this to continue. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be...
I gotta stop you here, Johnny, as we pick up the heat. And we may see an early stoppage here. They've avoided catastrophe there.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just...
So final 10 seconds of the round, and he is looking really sharp. LaMotta in that last round. He's been knocked down, but at least not... And we enter the 8th round. He got knocked down in the last round. Let's see what he can do here.
Oh, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel, because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. They are giving us a high-tempo show. Do you believe what we are seeing? No, we don't see a knockdown.
Bean Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Throws the uppercut but misses. Those counter punches have to hurt. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance?
Whoa, hold on a second, Johnny. Whoa, the Raging Bull in real trouble. It really takes something to put Jake LaMotta down, and he just did it. You could see it in their eyes. They saw that punch coming, and there was nothing they could do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Some might have thought it was a little bit closer, but in the end, the referees are in a unanimous agreement.
What a whitewash. You know, that's skills, that's class, that's levels. One is up there, one is down there, but you know what? The loser is going to have to...
All right, I went over the rules. I want you to protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck. Let's do it.
You want to win this fight? Get out there and switch on. Get this boxing back together. I need you to focus on what you're doing. You've got...
And fight.
Okay, now you're switching off. You're starting to make mistakes. You're switching off. Right, let's go out there, get your boxing back together. Listen, be smart when you go out.
Fight.
And here we are at Cambridge. It's Janabek. Here.
This bout is
So much hype surrounding this. And that's the opening bell, round one. They're both trying for a knockout. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. There was so much hype surrounding this match, I wonder if it can actually live up to the hype.
Can you imagine walking into this, Todd? Walking into an arena with such noise, people chanting your name. You can't even hear your corner man whispering in your ear. I've been in situations like that where it can be terrorizing if you haven't got your wits about you.
They block the hook. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
No rest for the weary. One punch could change anything when these two step in the ring. How about that time counter shot? You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Janabek in that last round. Pretty dominant. Here we go for round two. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
You're fighting a counterpuncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counterpunchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
He misses with that jab. The perfect counter lands. Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Hook misses. Nice counter shot. That jab misses. That counter punch caught him clean. One punch could change everything in this battle. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Janabek that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round. And there's the bell to start round three. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
think the pace will slow down? It picks up. Misses with the right uppercut. It's like a game of joust. They both got their swords. They're slinging it. Beautiful counter punch. Some real good back and forth between these two fighters.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Do you believe what we're seeing? Swing and a miss with that hook. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Janibek in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy.
Back at it in round 4. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
They exchange punches. They stop the hook there. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Lands with the right counter. And that hook misses. What skill being displayed here between these two middleweights? This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Janibek that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get turned around?
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to...
Get focused and get your mind back on.
And there's the bell for round 5. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
That uppercut doesn't land. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're going to get knocked out. fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
They are giving us a high-tempo show. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
I've seen some fights with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
You could see it in their eyes. They saw that punch coming, and there was nothing they could do.
That's lights out, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He still want to fight.
Well, he's got Bambi legs walking back to the corner, but he's still in it.
Unbelievable heart, knockout.
On to the 6th round. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'd be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
Tried to score with a jab. You couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you've hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Beautiful counter shot. It's all offense all the time. And he misses with the left uppercut. These two were made for each other. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Janibek in that last round.
Switch on. Switch on.
And there's the bell for round 7. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
Incredible work rate. And they're down just when you thought it couldn't get any worse. How about that impact? Let's see that again in slow motion.
I need...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you continue.
The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left?
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your ego's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up. Suck it up and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It's so hard for a fighter.
The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? 10 seconds to go, and what domination we've seen in this round. Let's talk about Janibek that last round. Let's see how the game plan. And we enter the 8th round. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff them.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? That counter shot lands. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
There's a scoring blow. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. And he dropped him. The perfect sniper shot. Let's watch it again. So time to go celebrate after a knockout win here.
Well, there's no...